What's going on, everyone? It's Azor Ahype here. I'm in Houston, Texas, hanging out. Simon Blaze Mang is doing some work over here. He's going to say hi in just a little bit. But I'm here with JR Raleigh today, and there's a lot to talk about. Game of Thrones Season 8 news. All sorts of stuff is going down, and today we're going to inform you and break everything down and kind of go over all the important things that are going on within the Game of Thrones universe right now. So, JR, what's going on, man?
Nothing. How we doing, Kyle?
You know, just sipping some coffee. Trying to sip some life into me. I'm a little bit tired today.
In the Marine Corps, we call it lifer juice for a reason.
Yeah, no, things are good. We launched Marvelous the other day, and of course, we're working on some more Thrones videos, some more Thrones theory videos, and another Ragnarok and Westeros podcast coming up on Friday. We're going to do a 2-hour version of that one, so that's going to be really sweet.
That'll be fantastic.
Fantastic, but man, we got to talk about this Jamie. Should we just start off with the Jamie Lannister thing, or should we save it until more people are coming in?
Let's hold the lawsuit one for people coming in, because that it's hilarious.
Awesome. Okay, so the lawsuit one's pretty big. We're going to talk about something that happened with Nikolai. It's pretty big. Concerning the amount of episodes he's in Game of Thrones Season 8. It's very revealing. So there's going to be a little bit of spoilers here today. So you're going to have to be careful if you don't want to kind of talk about some of the things that would you say it's a big spoiler, JR?
It's not a big spoiler. We'll talk about it. But yeah, no, I mean, it's intriguing enough to make people start going, wait, what?
Yeah, it's a pretty decent sized one. And then Peter Dinklage had an interview where he talked about where he got asked a question about Jon and Dany and if he liked Dany more than a friend. So we're going to talk about that too. Game of Thrones won 7 creative Emmys, 7 for 7. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about a bunch more. It's going to be really fun. Let's do some shout outs in the chat. We got Mackenzie Burns. We got Peter Griffin, Amanda Duncan, Chrissy of Coldstone, Bernie the Burnt, Nicola, we have the Prince That Wasn't Promised, Edward Martin, we have J.R. Raleigh, which is you. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, I do what I can.
And we have CC Stark, Paige Roberts, and I'm sure we're going to have some more people.
Amanda Duncan just jumped in, and so did Peter Griffin, Tam Hutchins. Misty's running around.
CC Stark, who just became a patron. Thank you so much for that, CC. Just pledged to Patreon today, actually. We have Gordana, who's actually a new patron as well. And I believe Daisy. Oh, my God. I can't pronounce her. I'm going to butcher her last name. We're just going to say Daisy for right now. But
just stick with Daisy. It's simple.
Yeah.
I shorten everybody's names in chat anyway when I type. So it's fine.
So where should we start today, JR? What were you most intrigued by out of these 4 or 5 pieces of news?
Let's go to the season 7 for 7, because Wesley Mons just brought up the great point that they won right off the bat for best original music composition and score.
And guess who's going to see Ramin Djawadi in 9 days? This guy. I mean, Simon's right beside me. Simon, you want to come say hey real quick?
Yeah.
Simon's working on a Thor drawing right now. But there's Simon, everyone. Simon from Blaze Manga. It's his birthday. Is it the day before, Simon, or the day after? The day after. So
that's the pre-party. We're gonna have a party and an after party.
Yeah, so it's gonna be really. We're gonna go see Ramin Djawadi. There's gonna be there's I've heard really great things about it. So we're really excited to go see that.
I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
You think the season 8 score is gonna be better than the season 7 score, Simon?
Yes, because this should be as epic as possible. So I imagine the score for the battles, they're going to be great. And the ending scene should be amazing too. The last time close, man. Yeah,
and I think a lot of the themes too. I mean, imagine what we got for Winds of Winter, the opening score with the Light of the Seven. There's got to be some sort of piece that is coming for Game of Thrones season 8 that's going to be that level of awesome, right?
I think he's going to release one, like he plays one for season 8 in this tour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he's going to play something from season 8 on this tour, apparently, and maybe we can let you know.
Ooh, see what we can decipher out of the score.
Yeah, so we can be like, oh, is that Targaryen or Stark, or is that Targaryen and Stark?
Or is it going to be a blend of both?
Starkgaryen, maybe.
Well, they did that in season 7. They blended Stark and Daenerys's music.
Oh, we got some happy early name days in chat, by the way.
Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you.
Actually, let's check on the calendar. When is this his birthday fall on? Yo, we're actually gonna have a live stream on the Sunday, next Sunday. Maybe we should do a little birthday stream, or maybe we're already having a party stream tomorrow night, and that's gonna be shenanigans. But maybe we'll figure something out for Simon.
All right.
We'll have Simon on the channel on the Sunday podcast. But Simon's gotta get back to work. Simon says hello to everyone, of course. Blaze Manga. Go check out their stuff if you haven't. But let's talk. Yeah, so does everybody in the chat, Jared, we're obviously going to get the most epic score yet, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Just the way it works. And I'm going to try to make it down to the Houston show with y'all, too. Not sure how that'll work yet, but I'll figure it.
Peter Griffin says you don't look a day under 40. Nice, Peter Griffin.
Awesome.
I would mod you, but I don't know if I should mod Peter Griffin. I don't know if that's a safe thing to do.
I don't know. I feel like there will be shenanigans afoot if you mod Peter Griffin.
Well, the release song for Season 8 is called Truth, which is partially used in Season 7. Ooh! Okay, so we have to go back and kind of, deconstruct that. Maybe
you can make the prediction right now. The Truth, it's going to be the score to when Bran and Samwell get to say, "Hey, John, you're banging your aunt."
Oh, damn! You think it's gonna be that? Okay, well, yeah, I mean, the reveal means that he's Targaryen, yes. So technically, that is what they're gonna say. But I don't think that's just they're gonna lead off with, "Hey, John, you're banging your aunt. John, your father and mother were these people." So, but that's kind of a different kind of open, JR.
Well, if that's what if the score is called The Truth, yeah, that's what they're going with.
What can you do? Come on, Mod Peter. We're gonna hold off on that. I think we gotta. And Amy Collins Russell is going, who's in the chat. We're gonna meet up with them after. But so 7 for 7. That's pretty crazy. Let's actually move away a little bit from the music. We will actually talk about we should definitely kind of break that down. Maybe make a prediction video based on what we hear from the concert and kind of go over that. But do you think Game of Thrones Season 8? I mean, certainly all signs point to it being just another level. Like they're just going to raise the bar and everything. Because we know Battle of the Bastards took 25 days to film, right?
And this one was 52 for the Battle of Winterfell.
52 nights, and then the one for King's Landing was like 40-something, 42 or 43 days. So, JR, let me ask you the question: are we going to be disappointed by the Game of Thrones Season 8 battles?
Oh no! Not when they got back. Why is his name? Of course, his name slips my head right now because I talk about him constantly.
Yeah, Mr. Miguel, yeah.
Yeah, Miguel Sapochnik. No, Miguel Sapochnik's episodes that he's filmed have been epically stunning and visually. I mean, they're absolutely amazing.
Watchers on the Wall, Hard Home, The Winds of Winter, the Battle of the Bastards.
Battle of Bastards, yeah.
Those are the ones those are the big ones.
And he's into the big battle sequences, and he has a good understanding of medieval battle flow, which is really interesting to see. Because, a lot of people depict it, but they don't necessarily depict it accurately.
And he's, pardon me, I just burped. That's really unprofessional.
Most professional.
And the one pan shots, like all
the sweeps.
Shot. Oh my God. He's also been on True Detective, Breaking Bad, amongst other things. So he is epic. And I am super excited. He's got 2 episodes. He's got episodes 3 and 5, which seems to lend to the idea that the Battle of Winterfell will be episode 3 and the Battle for King's Landing will be episode 5.
Correct. And we've talked about that prediction for a while now. But yeah, I mean, if he's directing 3 and 5, those are going to be your battles.
I think so too. Miguel did not direct Watchers on the Wall. Are you sure about that? The battle with Mance Rayder and the Wildlings and all that? I thought that was him. That wasn't?
Who's saying that? Miguel Sapochnik actually did not direct
Wesley.
Watchers on the Wall. Oh, okay.
I'm mixing it up maybe with damn.
What was the other episode that season that was a big sequence?
Didn't he have one in season 4? Oh, the same director who did Blackwater.
Blackwater. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's not coming off the top of my head, but yeah, Neil Marshall. That's it. Neil Marshall.
There we go.
That was badass. Who are the other directors again this season? There's Dan and Dave got the final one, right?
Yeah, Dan and Dave have the final episode. Sapochnik has 3 and 5. 1 and 4, or 1 and 4 are the same director, but I think it's David Nutter.
It is actually David Nutter has 1 and 4, I believe.
Yeah, I think 1 and 4 for that, and then D&D have 6. What episode are we missing now? 3?
3 and 5 are Miguel.
So we're missing 2. I don't remember who the director is on 2. If anybody does remember,
I think David Nutter has 3. David Nutter has 3, 1, 2, and 4. So David Nutter has 1, 2, and 4, and then Miguel has 3 and 5, and then D&D have 6.
I have 6. Okay, which is, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about D&D having the 6, but whatever.
I know a lot of people have talked about that, but let's talk about this for a second. D&D, yes. This is quite different from the books. You can't, and for the visual telling that we're getting in television, gotta admit, Dan and Dave have done a pretty awesome job, whether you disagree with the story or whatnot.
Of adapting it, absolutely. Like, and I try to tell people that all the time. Like, it's not going to be the books. It's watch it as something different. Like, you can be happy with it. Like, I don't understand the part of the fandom, especially being a bookie, that was like, oh, they're going, like, no Stoneheart, we riot. Like, come on, guys. Like, they're having to trim down for time. They're having to trim characters out. It's just, they can't get it all. Not in this media. And you're also converting first-person narrative, point-of-view characters into script, and you can't have somebody's internal monologue. It doesn't work that way. So, they're trying as best as they can to get what they to get the idea of the story out there, and they do a good job adapting it.
Yeah, I mean, it might be the best show on television.
No, is.
I know that. Did you see how I led there?
I know.
but yeah, I think that obviously, it's going to be about the big battles and whatnot, and the big finality of all these different storylines. And I think that I'm really excited about it. Certainly, I want it right meow. Right.
Well, we all want it right meow.
We all want it right meow, but it's not happening right meow. So, but hey, when we get it, we get it, and hopefully it's in April. I know there is.
It's going to be April 28th because that's my birthday. We've talked about this. It is known.
It is known. If it is on your birthday, we have to do something epic. And I think for the finale, I want to do some sort of watch party. I don't know where. Maybe get everyone together and rent out a whole town or something. I don't know.
We could get everybody together, and we could do it right here in Granbury at the VFW Post.
Yeah, Texas is kind of not in the middle of everything, so I think it would have to be some sort of central hub where everyone can get to. I don't know.
Well, the actual geographical center of the U.S. is like literally 4 hours from here, so.
So JR is trying to get stuff to go down in Texas. Well, we'll see.
Well, no, I won't even be here. That's the funny part. I'll be in Vegas.
Oh yeah, you're going to be in Nevada. That's right. You're moving. Either way, I think that something funny. I mean, not something funny. Something epic has to go down. And maybe we'll do the Azor Hype tours to the U.S. for each episode, and I'll stay in a different.
You'll just city hop throughout the U.S.
Yeah, and I'll do like a different watch party in 6 different cities or something like that with all of you guys and patrons and awesome people that watch.
That would be awesome if we could pull that together by April.
And it's getting closer and closer to the point where I am going to be moving to the U.S. I need to be somewhere where there's a major airport. Where I'm from, it's like the lands of always winter. There's one very small airport, and it's very expensive to just fly out of there. So it looks like Mr. Azor Hype is going to attain his visa sometime soon and work on that. But for the moment, I'm in Houston, Texas, and we're gonna work that out. So let's get a poll from chat. Who thinks that season 8 is going to win a bunch of creative Emmys? I think that they're going to win a bunch. They're 7 for 7 this year. I think season 8 is going to even up that level. Maybe there could be more. But I think that with the trend visually and musically. I mean, Ramin Djawadi is the man. We got amazing directors, an amazing VFX team. I don't think we can lose, really.
No, I don't think we can lose on it either. I mean, cleaning up the 7. I mean, they got all sorts of stuff for special effects. They got stuff for practical effects. I mean, they cleaned house on basically every creative category there was for the enemies. It was great.
So that's that. People in the chat are pretty much in agreement. People do think that the creative Emmys are going to be thing, and I mean, it's been the trend. I mean, Game of Thrones has cleaned up, not just at the creative Emmys, at the regular Emmys.
Right.
And yeah.
Hopefully they get some more acting Emmys out of this. I mean, it'd be really cool if they did.
Well, I mean,
especially being the final season, that's when a lot of them seem to come down on a show, and they're like, boom.
Lena Headey not winning anything yet. She got robbed last time. Robbed.
She did. So. But who did win for the last win? Orlando Tyrell. Diana Riggs picked up one, didn't she? For best supporting in a drama.
It's going to be really interesting to see. I mean, because we know that so many characters have been divided throughout so many different places within Thrones. Now it's people are going to be together. So do these other actors bring out the best in other actors? Absolutely. So it's going to be really, really, really crazy to see all these characters converging and kind of seeing these epic scenes. There's so much talent on Game of Thrones. It's really hard to just pick one person and be like, yeah, like Alfie Allen or Kit Harington last season really blossomed and he did an amazing job.
Yeah, he actually grew a lot. It wasn't just like emo kid emoting around. It was actually nice to see him like have real depth to his character.
And one thing too that we got to forget is each character, like they've totally transformed into different people, like these like transformative moments. All their characters, their heroes' journeys, they're at the end of their heroes' journeys. So they're completely different people than they started off. So the adaptation of who they were and who they are now is completely different. And that's something that is incredibly difficult. I mean, they have to continually evolve as an actor and actress to play these different parts of their story.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so yes, Amanda is telling me I think so, but I can't remember. So I think Diana Rigg did win one for best supporting. But yeah, there's a lot of actors on that show that deserve Emmys for it. Nikolai Coster-Waldau, since we're going to talk about him in just a couple of minutes, he did an interview and he was talking to I can't remember who he was talking, one of the film magazines, and talking about filming the end of it. And he quoted as saying, the ending is very satisfying and surprising. And I actually took the time to write the writers myself and thank them for this journey that we've been on and how they did it. And so it was actually kind of cool to hear him be appreciative of the writing staff and how well they've done with this series.
And really, when it's all gone, JR, we're going to be like, wow, we're going to look back and be, I think, even more appreciative. I mean, we're going to get the prequels, so I think that, there will be some nostalgia. We'll look back and be like, I really want to see the story of Bran or Arya or Sandor, because we're not going to get the same characters, right? So they're not the same characters, but we'll get a lot of the same people that worked on this series will be working on that. And in that same interview, Nikolai Coster-Waldau, Jaime Lannister, he's like, it's really amazing that we finally had all these people, because it was mostly filmed in Belfast at the Belfast set. And so had everybody there. And he's like, we've never had scenes together, and we were all hanging out at the pubs at night. It was great to have that whole family. I mean, he said it's like working for a place that has 1,000 employees and 1,000 people, and not a single one's an asshole. Like, everybody was just so stoked to be there and be part of that whole journey. And I thought it was a great metaphor for, how our community really is as a whole, because it's so inclusive. You read my mind. I was just about to say that, man.
It's crazy because it's so true. I was like, that's right. You're my boy, Nikolai Coster-Waldau. You the man. Because he said exactly what we feel about the community as a whole. Like,
it really is infectious like that, right? Like, I mean, this particular story is my favorite story. Like, I love Star Wars and I love Marvel and I love all that, but this story is just the level of depth dude, all of the influence that George has taken through his life, all the stories that he's read or been influenced by, all the authors that have inspired him, it's all in there. The homage, right? And I think that's what makes Thrones really special. It's just kind of this conglomerate of different inspirations within one story. You know what I mean? There's Norse mythology, there's Roman history in there. There's War of the Roses. There's Lord of the Rings influence. There's Cthulhu. There's H.P. Lovecraft, obviously. Cthulhu. There's so much, really. Honestly, there's a story of Merlin and King Arthur that's kind of woven in there.
Oh yeah, I mean it's pulling from all sorts of different stuff. And George, everybody knows that George is a historian. R.R. Martin, not R. George.
Well, our George is pretty smart. We love
no, well, absolutely not saying that, but I mean George pulls a lot from history, and like he's got a. I can't even imagine how much time he spent poring over actual text and reading of these battles and what was really going on, or even making up in your head kind of the political whims that caused these events. Trying to wrap your head around that. I mean, it's really intriguing how he writes. I mean, I'm in absolute awe of him.
We're fanboys.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, he can't not be.
And I was lucky enough to. It's been almost a month now since I've been on the road. Wow. Yeah, almost a month now since I got to go see George in Redwood City and meet him at not DragonCon, at Worldcon. So yeah. We're going to Worldcon next year in Dublin, Ireland, and the plan is to go to Belfast and check out Winterfell and go through because some of the actually this is a cool fact on the King's Road. I think it's the third episode where they show there's all those unique trees, those awesome trees
that's King's Road.
The King's Road.
King's Road's the second episode though.
The second episode, sorry. And all those trees were blown down by a big storm. So what they did is they took all those trees and they formed them into doors and they put them in 12 different pubs all over Ireland. And there's actually a tour that you can go through. And they welcome all Throners that take this this tour. So maybe that's something we can go check out, a couple of these different pubs, and we can do a tour of that.
That would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, but
I desperately want to go back to Ireland. I haven't been there since like 2005.
And this is the Thrones effect, right? It's like, wow, like the tourism, how it's affected so many different places is just absolutely amazing. So okay, Creative Emmys, that's amazing. 7 for 7. Let's give them a hand. Awesome work. Let's get into the next topic. Obviously, I think that we both agree that they're going to win some in season 8. Next topic. Peter Dinklage talked about Danny and John in that kind of final scene where he's onlooking. A lot of people, there's been debate about this, JR, what he's really thinking in that moment. Let's talk about that. What did Peter Dinklage have to say, JR?
Basically, in the interview, they were talking about that moment and that look and what he actually thinks and feels about Danny. And the Dink actually flat out said, he's like, it is.
You saw the Dink?
Yes. I love me some Peter Dinklage. Knights of Badass. I watch that like literally like twice a month.
I love him in Elf, by the way. One of my favorite movies.
Oh my God, it's absolutely hysterical. I totally got sidetracked.
Tom himself, we will get to your question. And we're actually going to have a Q&A period for you guys. So we are saving questions. I do got it, my man. So go ahead.
Hey, Chrissy, if you can screenshot that question and just send it to me on Messenger.
I got it.
Unless you have it. Okay, you grabbed it.
I posted it in a little private side chat. But go ahead.
Perfect. Okay. So he basically said it is very obvious that he loves Danny more than just platonically. And he was talking about in the interview, he's like, it's not that it's just necessarily like an unrequited love. It's that he loves her. Yeah, it's admiration. And he actually flipped it too. And he's like, it's the same way that I feel about, or that Tyrion feels about Jon, except for not romantically. He's like, really, those two characters are the ones that are most like him. They broke away from their families and their family traditions. They're cripples, bastards, and broken things, like we've talked about. I don't even know how many times. In their own way, they fit all of those things. To him, it was the political side of it. Like them hooking up isn't necessarily the best idea in the world because politics and passion seldom mix. And what comes in the future.
But imagine this, like you're single. There's a queen that's single. You're serving her. She's beautiful. You admire her as a person. You might learn to have feelings for that person. In life, I've known people that I've really admired that are beautiful, that are that are passionate about things, and it's something's never been consummated. It doesn't mean that you want to marry them. You know what I mean? But you can have feelings.
Well, it's the hand of the queen. Aren't they married anyway?
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, technically. But you know
right?
what I mean?
That's a relationship that's as important as marriage for the realm.
But I think that people are misinterpreting a little bit as like, oh, sexually, just sexually, physically, all of these different things. There's a lot of different things that go into this relationship. So I think that trying to understand what he's saying, don't take everything he says just at face value, because there's all these different other factors that affect their relationship. That's how.
Absolutely true. And that's basically what he was saying in the interview as a whole, talking about Tyrion. And he's unlucky in love, like we know so many people that are. But it's just one of those things.
Yeah, it is one of those things. But it's going to be really interesting to see, because there is a lot of people out there that are saying, like, Tyrion is going to betray Jon or Dany by making some sort of deal with Cersei. Tyrion even killing one of them. That's insane.
No, that is not going to happen.
100% not going to happen, people. But
yeah, we'll go ahead and call that one right now. Tyrion is not going to kill Jon or Dany.
That's just insane. He loves them both as friends, and you know what? They're going to be spending time together, so their relationships, they may have differences, but they are going to grow closer together. I'm sure it's a very difficult time, and they're all trying to survive.
Right, and back to the boat sex 2.0 scene. It's kind of funny. Like when I remember watching it the first night and really sinking in when he's staring at it, and not you and Con Snow's boat sex. I mean the actual boat sex scene with Gemma peering around the corner. I'm talking about the actual scene. In that moment, like that look that he's giving him, do you think maybe he thought that maybe his dad was right about hooking up with whores or anything else? Because it's kind of a Tywin moment for him where he's looking at him going, oh, this is a bad idea. Don't you do it. Don't make this public.
Pretty crazy, man. I mean, and Tyrion's one of the major players. Like, I think his people were mostly disappointed with his role last season. I can see why. And
the writers, George R. R. Martin writes him so perfectly, and he's so witty. But when they lack the material, the source material, his character suffers by the writer's hand.
But in the books, though, he's on like this. He's like drunk and like riding a pig, and like he's not.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we know he's probably going to end up hooking up with Dany at some point, like being in her council or something. Or
well, he gets pretty sober pretty quick when he signs up with the Golden Company.
Yeah, I mean, but still, like, Tyrion hit his low point, you know what I mean? So I think he can only go up from there.
His signing the book is what brought him. That's his start to the climb back out of the hole.
Oh, the Knight Who Smoked the Laughing Tree. I love that name, by the way. Shout out to
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
That's one of the coolest names I've seen in the chat in a long time. But what does everyone think? Let's ask the chat, JR. What does everybody think in the chat? Do we think there is going to be some sort of insidious thing that happens with Tyrion, Jon, and Dany? I personally don't think so, but I mean, this is Game of Thrones. Anything can happen. I personally think that I think that Tyrion understands that being in love in this period is an incredibly dangerous thing, especially for these two people, the King in the North and the Queen of Dragons.
It's going to be fantastic, but I can't wait. I just want it to get here and wrap.
Amy Collins Russell says Tyrion wants Jon and Dany to be smart. This love affair could be detrimental to everything they've been trying to build. It's very true.
Amy's not wrong.
Paige Roberts says, agreed. I think he's just worried about what will happen. Ash Scott says, Dany and Jon were so boring to watch, but last season became more bearable in their shared scenes. I thought they had great chemistry. The tension that built, that was awesome. He will unintentionally do something, CC says. Ooh. Tyrion seems jealous, says Nine Nichols. I didn't feel jealousy. I felt worry. Mackenzie Burns says, it's a possibility that they want drama in the final season. So it's either Tyrion or Dario. I mean, I don't think Dario is gonna do something for a lot of people. He's not really that popular.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry, that is one of the complaints that I have. Why can't our Tyroshi have blue beards and blonde mustaches? And I want a real Dario.
Yeah, the beard, the dyed beard. We didn't get that in the show, and obviously, you know, different casting things happen.
Yeah, the Dario swap. So Dario's a faceless man now. That is confirmed.
Dario is Euron. No, never mind about that.
Oh God, no.
That absolutely hilarious theory. Yeah, so I think we can pretty much wrap that one up. We actually talked about this before, but it's interesting that Peter Dinklage actually spoke out about it. We can have a little bit more information on it. I don't think we need to hit the hammer over the head more, but certainly it's definitely a possibility that something crazy happens, and Tyrion's going to be right, and he's going to be one of those people the glue that holds all of these other people together, because he is wise and he is pretty intelligent, even though he did make some blunders last.
It's going to be him and Davos, man. They're going to be the moral compass of the realm.
You know who I would love to see get together? Bran, Davos, and Tyrion and Samuel, all four of them. It's like, okay, who's going to come up with the solution out of all four of these people? Because Davos is a real.
That's like the small council already. It's perfect,
right? But I don't see all those people survive. I think Bran's going to be doing his own. Bran's going to be something else completely. Okay, so should we actually let's get into the Jaime Lannister thing right now?
Yeah, let's do the lawsuit, because it's going to go into more prediction stuff.
So JR, what's going on with that? Let's enlighten everyone.
So the lawsuit. So Nikolai Coster-Waldau, Jaime, has a lawsuit was filed against him by one of his former agents, and a lot of details about his pay were disclosed inside the lawsuit. And some very wise people filed basically the American equivalent of Freedom of Information Act, because it's public knowledge. Because it's a public proceeding in court, and they released how much he gets paid and how many episodes he's in for season 8, which is not all 6, according to the documents they released. There's only 4 that he received payment for.
But they're saying he's in 6?
Yeah, but it's more fun to talk about it as if that's not a thing yet.
It's really interesting. This opens up all sorts of possibilities. I personally think he's going to make it to the finale, because I think that the moment between Jaime, Cersei, whatever goes down Clegane, that's going to be in episode 5 or 6 anyways. One of the last 2 episodes.
But,
okay, let's open this up. Is there a possibility that Jaime survives the whole series? How likely is that?
Let's do fire emoji for likely, and let's do the heart emoji for no, he's going down.
I think it's going to be overwhelming heart emoji, because I mean, the story of Cersei and Jaime has the Shakespearean love written all over it.
Shakespearean, I'm not sure about that.
Shakespearean love, not the same. I know. I'm talking Shakespearean tragedy.
Yeah. For Oedipus Rex.
That is so true, man. Wow. Dany will die in Brienne's arms?
Yes, and that's what I was going to go back to. He's got to die in Brienne's arms.
He's narrated his own death? Paige Roberts? That's a great comment. I love that.
Paige? Oh, yeah.
Lindsay Walker, that's 2 different emojis. He can't live and both die.
technically he could. He could be Schrodinger's cat.
Wow.
He could actually, and there is a way that he could do it, and I can explain it.
Oh my God.
He could be simultaneously both dead and alive if Arya uses his face to kill Cersei.
Oh, damn. Okay. I guess.
Boom! Schrodinger's catted it.
Oh, that's Carrie says there was a second page of that document that showed he was paid for all 6 episodes, but they were listed separately. The question is why the last 2 were listed separately. That is something that we did want to talk about. So, JR, can you give your thoughts on that?
So yeah, and so you gotta love internet detectives. They are better than the FBI, I swear. So they went through and found all the documentation from the lawsuit, pulled it, and put together that no, he is actually paid out for all 6 episodes, but the final 2, like they said in the chat, were listed separately from the 4. So
why?
I don't know. Maybe it happened to be, turned to page 4. And so it was listed separately because it was on the page break.
Ooh, Paige says, when Cersei says no one walks away from me, I think of Arya killing her and walking away in the next season. So going with Westeros and going to check that out. That's kind of what I think is going to happen with Arya, or going back to Bravos. Silencer money? Damn.
Mackenzie, you're probably not wrong because there's a big chunk of that.
Can you explain what silencer money is to everyone, JR?
Silencer money would be basically them abiding or getting a bonus for abiding by the non-disclosure agreements. That if nothing gets leaked or said before the end or wrap of season 8, they get X amount for the other episodes that they may or may not have been in.
Overtime, says CC Star. Kind of, yeah. It's like a little bonus. Lindsay Walker says, because Arya is going to take off that face and they're going to have to pay Maisie. Wow. Y'all are savage in the chat. The last 2 episodes are flashbacks from Bran that were filmed previously to this season. What?
Ooh. I'm wondering what was in the smoking of the laughing tree.
Yeah, I want whatever you're having, by the way. Tom, what am I drinking? I'm actually having some coffee. That's what I'm having. But I did have a few whiskeys last night. I did go for dinner. It was fun. Last time I came to Houston, I didn't get to check out any of downtown. What's this place called? Kung Fu Saloon. They have an arcade in there and music and karaoke. That was really awesome. What are you drinking, JR?
Actually, I am drinking nothing at the moment. If I was smart, I would have grabbed a coffee or Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, but just black coffee for me.
Yeah, that's it. Is there another way to drink coffee?
It's like my soul. Kidding. My soul isn't black. So it's not. Mackenzie says double. No. I don't put any sugar in my coffee. Do you guys want to see me with sugar in my coffee? The world isn't ready for Kyle with.
No. We wouldn't let him. We wouldn't let him do Jaeger bombs at Con of Thrones either for the same reason.
I actually told everyone. I said because JR was the one trying to encourage me to drink Jaeger bombs at Con of Thrones, and I said no for this exact same reason.
No. But, I think Mike was getting you to drink the Jaeger bombs. You're like, I can't do the Red Bull.
Oh, the Red Bull will make my heart explode. Do you guys know how excited I am already about life? I mean, yeah. I would enter like hyper speed of life I think the universe would actually implode if I I'm pretty sure what would happen.
Kyle 5.0.
Kyle 5.0, yeah. I actually don't drink that much pop. If I do, I have ginger ale, but I actually like La Croix. I do like my soda water. We're gonna have, but tomorrow night we're gonna have some drinks. It's gonna be
yes.
I don't know. JR is a maybe for tomorrow night. It's me, Gemma, John St. Baptiste, PJ. I think Blaze Manga will be here with me in some sort of capacity. There's gonna be a bunch of us. I don't know who else Gemma invited, but there's a bunch of people that are coming tomorrow night. We're gonna have another party stream on the channel. We haven't had one in a while, and
no, we haven't. Hopefully we can get Helen to do some more dodgy porn stuff in a hotel lobby.
Yeah, she ended up. The bartender ended up giving her like a whole bottle of
the whole bottle of gin. That was in Italy.
What I would like to do is anybody in the chat, if you like Marvel, if you like Star Wars, if you like The Expanse, all of that, I actually launched a new YouTube channel called Channel Marvelous, Marvelous, because we're marvelous. Get it? Marvelous. And we launched it the other day. Me and JR actually co-wrote the Iron Fist season preview, and I'm actually in the midst of finishing Iron Fist. I'm actually on episode 5 of Iron Fist season 2. JR is going to be a writer for Channel Marvelous, and there's other content creators. We actually got a video from Gemma about Obsidian Cull and Captain Marvel. Me and Blaze Manga, we're going to be doing a podcast on all the news of Captain Marvel and the Super Skrulls and all that. It's coming next week. And by the way, if you do like History of Westeros, we're starting an Expanse podcast. I got to party a little bit with Dominique Tipper, who plays Naomi Nagata, and Cass Anvar at the media relations party at DragonCon. So went to all the Expanse panels, and Marvelous is going to be not only just Marvel content. We've decided we're going to be doing Marvel, Star Wars, DC Universe, The Expanse, and more. So if you haven't checked out Channel Marvelous, go subscribe. Second YouTube channel that we've launched. So.
Yep, and lots of new content coming out for that. I can't wait for the Expanse podcast. Like, I can geek out on the Expanse forever. The books were amazing, and the references back of title episodes to like Leviathan Wakes is the first book. I love the Expanse. Well written.
It's my second favorite show on TV. We're gonna be teaming up with other content.
What's your third?
Ooh. Vikings is up there. I love Vikings a lot. That's really hard to say, man. I really enjoyed Punisher season 1. There's a show called Counterpart that I really like, JR. Counterpart, I don't know if anybody's seen it. It's got kind of a Fringe Homeland vibe, like Fringe. It's with J.K. Rowling. He's awesome.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want to spoil anything, but
my third is still Peaky Blinders, man. You cannot beat Peaky Blinders.
My top 5. Oh, dude, yeah, Peaky is good too. Game of Thrones is number 1, obviously. Then it's The Expanse, Vikings, Counterpart. Peaky Blinders is in there, maybe. It's really. I actually really like Better Call Saul too, but I'm behind on the show. There's a bunch of comedies I like. I like Brooklyn. I mean, I could do a top 10. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is another one. It's really hard, guys.
It is. It is. That's why I wanted to put you on the spot on that. Just curious, because it's all stuff that's going to be on the Marvelous channel. So that's the. We were talking about it. Like, why not? Why are we pigeonholing ourselves into content when we can talk about whatever we want to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. But Channel Marvelous, everyone, go check it out. And I'm sure Chrissy and other people are dropping the link in the chat for us. But yeah, we'll be covering all. We're gonna talk about Venom. We're gonna do like a Venom review when that comes out. All sorts of stuff, and we're really excited. Daredevil. We'll break that down when that comes out, and the new Star Wars and all that. But back to Thrones, Jared. What else should we cover today? Want to talk a little bit more about the Jaime thing?
You're breaking up a little bit, Kyle.
Can you guys still hear me?
You can hear it on your end or not.
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, you're getting. Your camera just went off. Okay. Anyway, what else do we have for season 8 coming up? The filming of the end, 7 for 7. Jamie's reflections on Nikolai Coster-Waldau's reflections on the end, and filming the last scene that he filmed while very, very carefully dodging the spoiler minefield when he was giving this interview. Talked about Cersei is playing the Game of Thrones, and Jaime is now playing the game of survival at a very honest level for the great of the realm. And I actually thought it was kind of a great quote for Nikolai Coster-Waldau. Like, he understands the character better than a lot of actors probably do. Like, he understands Jaime Lannister. And so Jaime Lannister's history has always actually been for the betterment of the realm, regardless of the actions that he had to take to get there, saving everybody at King's Landing when he killed Aerys. He's tried to do it for the better of the realm. Was pushing Bran out the window for the betterment of the realm? Probably not. Well, actually, maybe so, because nobody needs to know that all the bastard children are bastard children, which we can make that argument later. But it was really kind of cool to see Nikolai Coster-Waldau in that interview talking about it. And man, I love him as an actor. He is so good.
He's really, I mean, and he's, Jamie, his story has been frustrating, of course, but there's a rhyme and reason to that. But he's really evolved as Jamie. And man, I'm really excited. He's actually, I think he's the character that I'm most looking forward to seeing what happens with in Game of Thrones season 8.
Yeah, I agree. He's always been one of like, it's funny when you're watching like the showing Game of Thrones to somebody for the first time, and you get to the end of episode 1, season 1, and he pushes them out the window, and they turn to you, and there's an inevitable moment that they look at you and go, "Okay, so who's your favorite character?" Like, hey, you know the guy that bangs his sister and just push a kid out the way? He's my favorite character. What?
Right? Like, oh man, it's just. And in the books too, his chapters are probably my favorite. He's in my top 3 at least, anyways. Him, Theon.
Yeah.
Him and Theon are probably my favorite, I think.
Him, Tyrion, Arya, and Davos have always been mine. Like, Tyrion, if I hit one of those chapters in a read, and I'm like, oh man, I'm going to bed after this chapter, and you hit that page and it says Tyrion, you're like, oh shit, here we go. And you're going to power through it for another hour.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a huge fan of Tyrion chapters as well. I actually love the chapter when he's playing Syvass with Aegon, and he kind of throws a fit, and that's when we know that he's not fit to be king.
With Fagon?
Yeah, with Fagon. I say Aegon, yeah. But I mean fake God. Yeah. Yeah,
Fagon. Yeah, book Easter eggs. Sorry, y'all, for anybody that's just a show watcher, but yeah, no, that everything that happens in that whole sequence when he's going down the river with Lemore, Septim Lemore's there, your favorite because she's a Charadane.
Wow, you have to bring a Charadane up on my channel, JR. That's
I had to.
That's so rude of you.
Well, no, but in the books, it's legitimate that that's a good possibility that Septa Lemora is a Charadane.
When Tyrion is watching what she's doing in the water and he's looking at her body and there's stretch marks and stuff.
Marks, like yeah. Hinting at a pregnancy or a birth, which some people say might actually be Fagon, which is interesting because the Danes were known to have similar features, but not completely Targaryen.
Her eyes, yeah.
Her eyes especially, yeah.
But, George is also a big fan of red herrings and playing with people's emotions and minds. That's
absolutely
what he does.
It could be George R. R. Martin is the greatest troll artist in history.
I don't know about history. I think there's some bigger ones, but I mean, he does like to do that.
Yeah, he's pretty good at it too because he gets you to think it and then it never happens.
So I think that what we should do is it's 6:54 our time in Texas here. The JR is also in Texas. What we should do is we should open it up. We covered most of the points for other news. Was there anything else that we had to cover, JR?
That was really all the news that's been out this week, and that's not a whole lot. Everybody's really tight-lipped right now.
It is very hard right now to be like, we're climbing through the long night. Right? We're like,
yeah, we are definitely climbing through the long night, and it's funny. Like, seriously, a lawsuit is a spoiler. Like, I mean, look how ridiculous we are as a fandom. Like, we're pouring through court documents to see if we can find anything. What's in there? It cracks me up because I'm just as bad.
We did have a donation, by the way, through PayPal from Nicole Rolofson, and she sent over 10 euros to PayPal. If you do want to support the channel, by the way, everyone, you can sign up for Patreon. You can make a donation through the live stream for Super Chat, or we kept the GoFundMe open just because I am traveling for what seems is going to be forever here in the U.S. Who knows when I'm going back to the lands of always winter. But thank you so much, everyone who supports the channel just by liking the video or coming to watching. You guys are the best. We're super hyped. So what we're going to do, JR, now is we're going to open up the questions. Let's do a Q&A Let's talk a little bit about season 8.
Misty just asked a question. She wants to know what we think about an estimated release for Winds of Winter.
We have Tom himself. We're going to get to your question, Tom. Estimated release time, Winds of Winter. I was actually talking to Aziz about this, and I've kind of talked about this over the past few live streams. When I got to see George R. R. Martin and talking about his energy, what he's been like lately, I really think it's coming out next year, like right after season 8. I think it's going to be like 2 days after, and George is going to capitalize on Game of it's going to be something where they capitalize on it. It's going to be like, wow, they're smart. Okay, HBO, George R. R. Martin, these people, they know how to get things going. So I think it's going to be the perfect. They have a time in mind, essentially.
I agree. I think I have a timeline in mind, and I don't think both books are written. I think there's a fair amount of material that's written for A Dream of Spring, but The Winds of Winter isn't done. It hasn't gone to editing. No manuscripts have been sent in because we would hear an announcement for that. So I think we will probably see an announcement for the manuscript being dropped to the editor and going through that process early next year, maybe around the same time as Game of Thrones kicks off. And it'll go for release, I'm going to guess, marketing-wise, probably for the fall to make the Christmas run.
I think it's going to be released in the summer. I think it's going to be – I mean, Game of Thrones is going to start when? April, maybe. If it's not, it's going to be later May. Like I said, they might have to push it back. The VFX people and the studio people are kind of pushing back on when they think it's going to be out because they want to make sure that they're doing things right. So it's really a mystery, but I don't know. I think it's going to be like 2 days after Game of Thrones season 8. I think it's going to be like, like rappers release these like impromptu albums. I think George is going to drop Winds of Winter like that and just.
Do you think he's going to drop it just like boom, boom?
It's going to be insane. I'm not both books, Winds of Winter.
Oh, okay. Just for Winds of Winter.
I 100% think it's coming out next year. It's 100% coming out.
I absolutely do, but I think it'll be. I could see like an August, September release for it to make the run into Christmas because that'll be the most purchased book that year, hands down. Nothing else will come close to it.
Yes. So it's going to be crazy, and it's going to be better than Storm of Swords. Calling it now. Tom himself had a question earlier. At Amanda Duncan, with so much time left still for the next season to come out, a shitload of time since last season. How does he still bring that much excitement to his countless live streams? We're talking about me here, right? I don't know, guys. First of all, you guys know that this is like my dream job. So there's that. I wake up every day and I'm pretty excited about being able to do this. I consider myself extremely fortunate to be in this position at all. I talk about that a lot. But you guys know that I went through an extremely difficult period, and I didn't have a lot of happiness in my life for a long time. So that's part of the reason why I am so excited to do this. But really what it comes down to is I think, and me and JR have talked about this a bunch, is that I get to nerd out and talk about this and do this full time. I don't really want to get into it, but my mom has worked a job that she has not been very happy with for the majority of her life. And me and her have sat down and talked about that. And it breaks my heart that, she's not happy with what she's doing. And, and for a long time, I was doing something that I didn't enjoy. And I just said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. And I have a lot of energy in me, and I feel like it's my responsibility to keep you guys hype. You guys anointed me as the Azor Ahype in the live chats quite some time ago, and that's why I feel the responsibility to not only do that, but I enjoy it. I don't know if that answers your question, but it will continue to be hype. I promise you that. Do you have any reasons why I'm like this, JR? I don't know. Can you answer that question?
No, you're like this. It's even worse at cons. I will tell you that. Like, you get Kyle 5.0 at cons. Like, this is mild compared to like how it is at a con, but everybody's like that at a con because everybody's amped up. So if anybody gets a chance next year to go to Con of Thrones, absolutely do it. It is totally worth it. You ride the high all weekend long because you're around everybody that's ultimately just like us. I mean, we're basically huge fanboys of this whole world that George R. R. Martin's created and that HBO's adapted. We sit here and geek out on this. This is conversations that, back in the day would have been happening in a comic book shop, right?
You know what it is too, is I was actually talking about this last night when I was out with my friend Ariadna. We went out for dinner and had a good time, and she asked me, like, the positive energy, what that means to me, and I'm addicted to infecting people with positivism. This like going around and affecting people in positive ways, because I felt like when I was hurt and when I wasn't feeling good, people were coming to help me, to try to give me positive energy so I could be lifted up. But then one day I realized that I had this opportunity to do that for everyone else. You know what I mean? And I think that, and so many people have reached out to me. In the beginning, I didn't think I was going to do this full time. It was just something that I was doing as like this outlet to keep me from going insane. But now it's like when people reach out, like earlier, someone reached out to me. Her name is Raylene, and she's a super positive person. She sends me theories sometimes, and we chat on Facebook, and she just said, thank you. And I'm like, no, thank you guys. You know what I mean? Like, you guys inspire me every day. So it's super cool. Just the fact that, people reach out to you and I can have a conversation about Thrones and be like, yeah, I need to talk about this. Like, I don't know, that's just something that's amazing. And JR, can you talk about your experience too? Because we met at Con of Thrones, and now you've been on my channel a bunch, and you're doing Geek Chat on Facebook. Can you kind of talk about, like, from your perspective as well, like how it's affected your life?
It's kind of been a whirlwind since Con of Thrones, really. Like, getting to come on and guest on your channel on Azor Ahype, and then getting to write scripts for Marvel and Marvelous and doing that. Like, yeah, it's been a lot, and for me, it's a cathartic exercise for me. It's part of a healing process for me. If anybody watched the mental illness Citadel Hype cast, I have PTSD. I did 13 years in the Marine Corps, and there's parts of that. You come home from Iraq after 3 tours worth. Things are a little different, but writing this stuff and being able to talk like this about Game of Thrones and stuff, it's really cathartic for me. So, like, it's great, and just being able to meet you, and like everybody's just so positive in the community, and that's like really, you guys, if you get a chance to go to, and it's really any convention, but specifically Con of Thrones. I mean, hell, I was on a live stream in your room that morning, on Sunday morning, coming down. I mean, that was hilarious.
I think the thing too is one thing that the way the world is now with social media and all the things that are going down. And I'm not someone that's really good at social media. What I am good at is talking a lot. And I think that, we're taught to do these 9 to 5 things, and like people are always being taught to play by other people's rules, JR. And I think that one thing that I realized, and I kind of want to share with all of you, and it's not easy, but once you start playing by your own rules and you say, hey, this is what makes me happy, this is what I want to do, and you stop playing by everyone else's rules, then you find some level of happiness. And in my case, I'm extremely lucky because I've had a lot of help. But I think that is something that I try to share with everyone, whether it's you like writing or reading or something. Try to find an outlet that makes you really happy. For me, it's talking about movies, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and I got really lucky that people like to listen to me. Now, that's not going to happen for everyone.
Here, I got a Kyle question. Were you always that way?
Was I always this excited to talk about?
No, not just this excited, but talking about the geeky stuff, like. Oh
yeah, I grew up reading Marvel comics. Whenever the new like Super NES came out, we always got the new system, and like I'm a single child, but I have my mom has 10 brothers and sisters, and my dad has 4, so I have a lot of cousins, and I'm the youngest of the cousin group. So I have Nick, Luke, Adam, Brandon, Cliff. I'm forgetting someone, Tanya. All of them were into the same stuff, whether it was comics or Star Wars or growing up, DC Comics, whatever, we're all into the same thing. So I was always excited to talk about that. I never knew that it was, I mean, obviously there wasn't YouTube in when I was like 5 years old. But there were still people out there. There were still like, shows and all sorts of, radio, people talking about radio. There was Geek Channel Radio out back in the day. And it's kind of evolved. And that's kind of the state of what's going on now. It's so different how we absorb things now, right? But now there's conventions. Now there's conventions. Like there's a podcast convention that's coming out. Pod X next year. I believe it's by Mischief Management.
Yeah, Pod X will be in Nashville, which is put on by the same company, which is Mischief Management, that puts on LeakyCon. They've been doing for 10 years with Harry Potter. This year will be the 3rd year for Con of Thrones now. Alien Con, they have a Broadway Con. I mean, they have a lot of different stuff going on.
And one thing that's cool too is like I know that like people have responsibilities. JR, obviously, not everyone can get out to a convention. Like Dallas, Texas is pretty far for some people. Gemma came over from UK and she has a family, so there's responsibilities. Everybody's in a different situation, but if you can, I always highly recommend to follow cons or go to a con. I went to my first ever con at Con of Thrones last year, and that was kind of the thing that kickstarted me really believing in doing this. Is like, wow. And
George pulling you along for it.
Yeah, George Sartiano, one of our family members. I say friends now. We're all family. We have an extended family. I consider you guys. It's so crazy, right? Just to think that. Like Simon is here. Simon, come here. Simon from Blaze Manga. I'm gonna kind of show a little preview of what he's doing, guys.
Oh, cool.
He's drawing Thor right now, right? Like he's drawing Thor. Like that's something that he's super passionate about, right? Like imagine 15 years ago, were these kind of opportunities available for everyone? Probably not, right? But now we live in a world where it's like we can geek out about Thrones and all that kind of thing. Simon, you're pursuing your passion, right? It's not an easy thing to do, but you're making a lot of. You guys have sold out a bunch of prints.
Yeah, and the last convention, it was the best convention of the whole year, I will say.
Yeah.
And we have another convention book at the end of the month. So
yeah,
guys, slowly climbing that ladder. In a way, we're promoting our comic. It's our biggest passion, anyways. So it's a good way to promote yourself, make some extra money, and get there, climb that ladder, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I think that. I'm a super competitive person. Like I want to be like the top. I'm like I want this. You know what I mean? I guess I am from the true north. I'm a wolf. Maybe.
Yeah, but you do it in a good way. Like you're competitive, but you support other people too. Like you lift other people up and you're friendly. You know what I mean? You're like.
And that's the way you got to do it, I think, because I can't do this without help. Simon can't do it without help. There's always someone out there that can help you. And it could be like just a person buying your art that might tell 4 other people, like, yo, this art, like, I like this. You know what I mean? So for Kyle's Red Bull, oh God, they're donating for Red Bull. You guys don't want me to have
Red Bull. God, CC, don't do that.
Oh my gosh.
But that was a really long answer for one question.
What was the question?
It was just like, kind of talking about why we do this and
how it happened.
But the second part of your question, Tom, I think it's a little bit inappropriate to talk about on stream.
Okay.
So I'm going to refrain from answering that part of your question.
The second part of Tom's question. Okay, we'll get to know.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we've always been like this. YouTube and the social media side of it has allowed the geeks to inherit the earth. It's really what it's come down to. Like, look at it's fantastic. Oh man,
there's a lot of beards on the stream. Yeah, we all do have beards. Tom himself, this is a better question. Do you ever think about doing a video on your favorite movies? Well, yeah, that's what Marvelous is going to be about. Okay. Star Wars, Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
even some DC Universe. Too.
DC Universe. We were talking about Venom. We're like, me and Simon want to actually do a video on Venom and breaking down the trailer. So that's kind of some of the stuff that we're going to do on Marvelous. Because of the success of Azor Hype, the Azor Hype channel, if we can continue to have success on this channel, we will have success on the other channel. You know what I mean? Because this one is kind of funding our next little project.
Yeah.
Hopefully. continue if we can continue to have success. Answer the Grim Reaper question. What's the Grim Reaper?
I was just trying to find it. I don't know where it's at. Hey, Chrissy or Misty, can you send it to me on Facebook and Messenger?
Can you hear this?
No.
Simon can't hear crap.
Yeah, no, Simon can't hear us at all.
So
Okay.
I have to tell Simon stuff. It is cool to be a nerd now. I mean,
It is. Geek is chic. It's odd.
Simon, you've always been a nerd too. You grew up watching anime.
Batman, the animated series, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and you grew up like Dragon Ball Z. We both grew up watching Dragon Ball Z and manga, Ninja Scroll.
Ninja Scrolls.
All the like original like Gundam and stuff like that. I mean, and then there was video games that had anime in it, like Kingdom Hearts and like Final Fantasy. I've always been inspired by that kind of style.
Yeah. Chrono Trigger, bro.
Chrono Trigger. Oh, damn, Chrono Trigger was amazing.
Yeah.
Tom says, you guys are lucky I was a high school nerd in the 80s. Can anyone say Revenge of the Nerds? Where is Green Reaper's question? I am 25 years old, fake Aria. Kidding. I'm 32.
I am 25. In spirit.
That's Simon back there. I'm 25.
There is similarities to The Night Who Smoked the Laughing Tree between DC and Song of Ice and Fire. Oh, okay, the Death List. Grim Reaper. Tyrion,
there we go.
Jaime will be Arya. Cersei, most of the North, most of the Night King's army. The Mountain, the Hound. Euron, Yara, Drogon, Viserion, Dany. Ooh, that's a lot. But yeah, I think a lot of those people are going to die, with the exception of Tyrion and Arya. The original outline had Tyrion, Arya, Bran, Jon Snow, and Daenerys surviving.
Yeah.
I think Sansa was maybe the sixth, but he kind of.
But who knows? He's going to.
I think Daenerys is going to die.
Yeah.
I think Daenerys is going to end up being the Night's Queen.
Daenerys is going to be the Night's Queen from JR. I think that Jon and Daenerys could possibly both die, with Sansa and Tyrion raising their kid. We have a similar situation. What happened with Lyanna and Rhaegar repeating itself again?
Correct.
They will survive the Battle of Winterfell. I think a lot of people are going to die in that.
The Battle of Winterfell is going to have some casualties. Grey Worm is 100% dying in that one. Yeah.
Who is?
Grey Worm's going to die in the Battle of Winterfell, I think. Maybe. Actually, I don't know. I think the Unsullied maybe make it to King's Landing. Because Cersei's going to lock herself in King's Landing, like the Mad King Aerys, I think. But yeah.
She will. She'll close the gates, but
I think it is cool to be a nerd nowadays, for sure. It's more acceptable. We all try to, art and expression and enjoying the things you love is really important. I think most people enjoy movies and television. It's an integral part of most people's lives. Some people can't afford it, which is fair, but YouTube is around for sure. And I think that
they have Netflix.
There's Netflix. But I think Game of Thrones has had mostly a positive effect. So many different cultures as well. Like Song of Ice and Fire is a melting pot of different ethnicities. We got Dorne, and we got the Reach, and we got obviously the North, and then we got Essos, which is like this is crazy, and I think that's a big reason why Game of Thrones has brought so many people together. But the story, there's so many different POVs. You can associate yourself with someone who's very much broken, like Sandor Clegane, or someone who's a tomboy, like Arya, or someone who wants to be a wizard, like Samuel or Bran, or Jon is, he's conflicted. There's Cersei, if you're a huge biatch.
People that are into incest or
into incest. Wow. That's just crazy. Yeah, we're gonna have to stop the stream right there, JR. But
no. I'm fine. I'm just saying. Yeah, there's something for everybody in Game of Thrones. It brings in a lot of people.
Well, that's very rude of you. Wow. Jeez. And by the way, Gemma requested to be on the stream tonight. I denied her because she had drank a lot of red wine. I don't know if I've ever seen Gemma that schmammered. But she will be on tomorrow. Hopefully she can make it tomorrow. I have a feeling she's going to feel pretty rough in the morning.
Yeah, she might feel a bit rough in the morning.
Later, Mel. Thank you for joining. That's a pretty good death list, though, Grim Reaper. There is going to be a high list of casualties for that, for sure. One thing that we kind of talked a little bit about with the channel is we're going to try to keep on growing the channel. We can continue to do amazing things if we continue to have your support. One thing that is super important is Patreon, JR. We talk about this a lot. There's a lot of patrons in this chat, but for those of you who don't know what Patreon is, you can Sign up for even as low as $1 a month, less than a cup of coffee, and basically you get to participate in like extra polls for the channel, like decide what kind of content is upcoming for the podcast for me and Gemma, or you sign up for the $5 one. I upload early audio and kind of behind the scenes stuff from some of the cons sometimes, and then there's like the $20 margin. I'm not expecting everyone to sign up, but if you do, it definitely helps us continue to grow the channel. It is very important for a channel like mine, who is at 20,000 subscribers, still growing. So if you are interested in supporting the channel, you can become a patron of the channel. And there's all sorts of cool rewards and stuff like that. We actually opened up one for Marvelous as well. Blaze Manga is going to be doing amazing stuff for that. We're going to be doing print giveaways. We're going to be doing t-shirts, special t-shirt designs for Marvelous. And it helps content creators and artists kind of make way through YouTube and making their art and whatnot. So if you are into supporting content creators and artists, you can look in the link in the description of this video and sign up for Patreon. You can find also the links to Blaze Manga stuff in the description of this video as well. Go subscribe to their channel. I always try to toss out support for other creators because I understand it does take a lot of work and effort to make this work. Reaching out to people, doing social media, Twitter, all of that. So if you do like supporting channels, you can do that. Absolutely don't have to, but if you do and you want to, you can do that. And there's a couple of other ways. There's PayPal, GoFundMe. Always keep that in the description of this video. Absolutely don't have to, but that is another way you can support the channel. You can like a video, share it on Twitter, on social media, JR. What are some other ways that you support creators?
That I've supported creators?
Yeah.
Patreon, there's a lot of tools out there and everybody capitalizing, but I think the biggest thing to supporting content creators, artists, writers, whatever it is stuff like this. I mean, look how much we co-mix with everybody and we push everybody else's stuff, whether it's, we're talking to Blaze Manga or Sanrixian or, all these great artists. And I have a huge appreciation for art because my stick figures wouldn't even get me past the second grade. I suck. Yeah. I can't draw. I can't play music. So I have a huge appreciation for those type of arts just because it's something I can't do.
And Simon is working on his laptop and he's drawing with a special unit that helps him draw. The funding, that helps get better equipment, stuff that can enhance and help grow. Create what creators are able to do, essentially. You know what I mean? For me, getting exposure at Con of Thrones last year was huge. We went from 5,000 subscribers to 20,000, between Con of Thrones and that season. So that was something that was really, really important, obviously, for the channel. So I always try to, whether social media, if you like something, share it on social media. If you like a channel, subscribe, make a comment, make a suggestion on what you would like to see. Content creators are always looking for new ideas, and of course, we consider, or I at least consider every single comment, unless it's like something that's really out there, like racist or rude or something like that. But yeah, that is super important for you guys too. And I encourage you guys, whether it's not even this channel, but it's like something like Lycan Studios or a Blaze Manga or a Gemma, go check them out and give them feedback. That's really important, I think, because you guys. We're asking what it takes to make it on YouTube, and I think that it's a lot of things in it, but mostly it comes down to support from awesome nerds like you guys in the chat.
Yeah, ultimately we're just in front of a camera doing the same thing and talking about it like you guys would be too. We just we're ambassadors, I guess, but man, really, it's more about everybody. It's all of us. It's a conversation.
And most of all, I think the most important thing is be positive about it. Have a positive attitude, because positivity breeds positivity. I always talk about, I love infecting people with positivity like a virus. Like I am addicted. I am addicted to making people laugh and smile and having fun. Because I learned I was at the shittiest low point in my life at one point. I wouldn't say Theon Greyjoy levels, but I was in a lot of pain. I was not Kyle. I was someone else for quite some time.
Kyle.
Kyle? I don't that doesn't sound like Reek though. But anyways,
no, it doesn't sound like Reek. I was trying to think of like a Robert Strong comparison, but that doesn't work either.
How long did it take you to build up this channel? Well, for the first year, I mean, I didn't make any money at all in the channel. I had a Patreon which had like $50 on it. But I mean, like that. I mean, I mean, to start, I didn't have any recording gear. I didn't have a mic. I had just headphones, and I was recording the audio from like
The webcam.
the $400 laptop that I had, which like could only be the webcam, which was like a really bad webcam from the laptop. Like it was really bad. Don't go back and watch my other videos because they're
really
shit.
It's important to remember where you came from, Kyle.
It is. It is important to remember where you came from. But what does it take to make it? Oh my goodness. You have to have a positive attitude. You have to have a work ethic for sure, because consistency, because it's not going to be easy. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have failure. You know what? Let's just put this out there. I failed a lot. Okay. I've had a lot of shitty ideas, and it took me failing a lot. And being like, nope, that does not work. Why do I continue to do that? A lot of failure and gaining a lot of perspective. Of course, listening to other people's suggestions is important. Not listening to everyone's, but having an idea of, if someone has a good idea or a suggestion, like, hey, like a criticism or something positive to say, that's definitely important. Listening to people is important. Because we have 20,000 subscribers here on the channel, and like 4 or 5 million views. So that's a lot of people that have come to the channel and said different things or had something to say about.
Have you gotten a YouTube award yet?
I haven't. No.
It's got to be coming soon.
Maybe for most unprofessional podcasts.
Well, do we get that one?
I don't know.
That'd be great.
Sorry, 1 second. I'm going to scroll up. There's another question here. Missy says, JR Rally, do you recommend a Patreon account? Can you clarify that, Missy? Like, recommend starting one if you're a creator? Absolutely. It's like...
Oh, yeah. It's almost a necessity now with, there's been a lot of issues with demonetizing with YouTube for different reasons. A lot of people have been hammered like that. David Beers, LML, has had issues. I mean, a lot of creators in our community have had issues recently of their videos getting demonetized.
And I think too is like the YouTube algorithm is always changing. To make it, you need to upload a lot. Like I didn't upload that much this month, and some people won't even be notified from my live streams, even though they're still subscribed to the channel, right? So there's all these. I mean, YouTube is constantly changing, so there is a lot to. It's changing all the time. You got to really be aware of what's going on.
Yeah, and I mean, it really is, and part of it. I mean, look how much research we put into not only episodes, but it's staying up with anything that we can find current news-wise, everything else. I mean, not that we wouldn't do that anyway, because we're huge fans of the show, but when you're driving it in content, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you got to keep up on, because if you're $1 late and a day short, you're not going to be able to get it.
And I think too, I mean, you don't want to go to a channel and listen to something like this, and this sounds really exciting, and yeah, that sounds okay. And you don't want to sound like that. I mean, I'm pretty extreme. I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah, you are definitely on the extreme, man, Kyle.
I don't expect everyone to like me, and that's okay. Because I'm happy with what I'm doing, and I'm going to continue to just do my style. But I think that you should definitely be excited about what you're talking about. And want to talk about. Clarissa Thompson says, like Davos said, good now, go up there and fail again. Failing's super important. Yeah, it definitely is. But I think those are the main things. Understanding that it's not going to be easy, and not everyone's going to make it. That's just the honest truth. But if you try hard enough and you really want it, ultimately.
And the other big thing is, you got to have support. You got to have people that are like, man, go out there and do that. Like I've sent Kyle this clip like multiple times when he's getting down about something, and it's the Kevin Smith clip. You've watched it, right?
Yeah, more than once.
Yeah, sometimes Kyle will be like, man, I just don't know what to do. I don't know where I'm going right now. But I'll send him that video. I'm like, it doesn't matter. And it's basically Kevin Smith telling you to surround yourself with people that say, why not? Because you can throw a baseball down the street and you're going to hit everybody that goes, why would you do that? Why? Why would you try to make a movie, Kevin Smith? I don't know, because I want to. The trick is to find the people that sit there and go, why not? Go and do that. I love Kevin Smith for that whole quote. I love it.
It comes down to energy. Energy. I mean, the universe is. I'm not going to try to get a super deep level on you here, but the universe is energy. If you surround yourself with people that are going to poison your energy and you allow it into your space, that's something that doesn't work. But if you, because I'm going to say something here, and I think that you guys are a reflection of me. You guys are really excited too, and you guys are mostly really positive. You got to build something that. And you got to be that, you really got to represent what you stand for. And I think that, like I said, positivity attracts positivity. That's really important. But also being very honest and clear about what's really important to you, what you stand for. You know what I mean? That's and I think that there's a lot of people that didn't want me to succeed and still don't want me to, and that don't like me. I mean, whatever. Am I going to continue to stand there and cry about people that don't like me or that don't like my content? There's 90. That's like 5% of the other, like of the 100. You know what I mean? And I think that's really important to be like, okay, are you going to be able to take criticism? Are you going to be able to take negativity? Or are you're gonna focus on that 5% or the 95% that is totally worth it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of thick skin to be able to do this too, because there will be negative content or negative remarks about whatever you do, because there's always going to be somebody that hates it. That's fine. That's on them.
Not everybody's going to agree with you.
No, and that's totally fine. Tom asked another question. He wanted to know what our top 3 Kevin Smith films are.
Oh, damn. I mean, Mallrats is my number 1.
Really? Interesting. Okay.
But I mean, I just love Mallrats. So it really depends. I'm all about Mallrats. Snoochy Boochies.
Where does he get such wonderful toys?
I've watched Mallrats a disgusting amount of times growing up when I was young. Yeah, I think that mostly yeah, it's self-evaluation too. But they're able to self-evaluate and be like, yeah, that was kind of shitty. I should probably do better.
Let's do better next time.
Yeah.
Everything's a learning process, man.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, that's the attitude is number 1. Attitude is
absolutely.
I think. Yeah,
but my top 3 are Dogma, Clerks, and Chasing Amy.
Too. Yeah, Chasing Amy wasn't my favorite, but I get why people like it. Dogma's probably in the top 3. Yeah, Dogma's got to be. It's pretty close to Mallrats.
And Jersey Girl's actually up there too, and a lot of people bag on that movie. But that's the movie that Kevin Smith was filming when his dad died, and so it's a memorial to his dad. And so I actually I have a soft spot in my heart for that one.
Yeah, no, I love Kevin Smith, and he's he had a little heart issue a little while back, but he
did. He's lost a lot of weight because he went on the "you're gonna die" diet.
The vegan, mostly vegan diet, I think.
Yeah, well, no, the doctors flat out told him if you don't change, you're gonna die, yeah. And that's actually it's a great motivator.
John Shep recently passed away.
John Schnepp.
He was awesome. R.I.P. John. He was a great nerd ambassador to the nerd community. We can't lose someone like Kevin is super important to the nerd community. But I think that's gonna wrap it for today. We've had
ending on Kevin Smith, never bad.
Yeah, ending on Kevin Smith is never bad. It was really fun to chat with all of you today. Of course, if you want us to talk about something tomorrow night on the party stream, let us know in the comment section. We are always open for suggestions. It's going to be really fun tomorrow night. I'm going to have to go get a few drinks to participate because we only have coffee and water and pot here, so we're going to have a little fun tomorrow night. So it's going to be cool. And Simon, are you going to join for the party stream tomorrow night? Simon's going to join us. I think Pedro is going to pop in. JR, you're maybe. Gemma's for sure in.
No, I'm in. I got a battle plan. I'm good.
You got a battle plan. We're also going to be doing a Halloween party on Gemma's channel where I'm going to be dressing up as Kylie C. I gotta figure out how.
I cannot wait for that.
I hate you guys for making me say yes to that.
Kyle Lisi.
Kyle Lisi.
Kyle Lisi will never die.
San Rixian will be definitely on that one. She'll be drawing, doing all that. But yeah, before we go, I really do want to thank everyone that stuck around and everyone that likes our videos and comments in our videos, and everyone that supports us, whether it's Patreon or liking a video or sharing something, or whether you made a donation to the GoFundMe, it's a super chat, or it's just hanging out, watching without making a comment in the live stream. We love all you guys, and we
even the lurkers in the chat that kind of hang out and don't say anything in chat, but they're there watching. You never know who's lurking. Did you talk about that?
Yeah, no, I mean there are people that lurk just in the live chat that don't say anything, that are awesome. I mean, they're supporters of the channel. People reach out to me, they're like, "Hi, Kyle. Like, I don't necessarily comment on a video, but I watch and I love your channel." There's actually a father and son who listen to me and Gemma's podcasts, and they don't comment, but he reached out to me on Facebook and he said, "Hey, we love listening to you guys when we're in the car," or stuff like that. That's pretty cool. I love hearing all those stories. But I'm not dying.
While Kyle's dying, be sure to go ahead and smash that like button, like Oberon's head. It'll be great. Join us tomorrow for the party live stream. I'll be on, Gemma, Kyle. Hopefully we can get some other people that like to have some rowdy fun. We'll be having some drinks and talking theories, and really it's going to be guided by you guys. So we pretty much talk about whatever it is you guys want to talk about, which would be great for Marvelous. And that's the reason that Marvelous is there. But no, the live streams go absolutely crazy. So go ahead and please join us tomorrow night. That is already up on the Azor High site. Go ahead and click the like, subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell to get all notifications for updates on the channel.
And what do we say to the god of death, JR?
Not today.
Not today, everyone. Hype and love.
Oh, that's